954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or Iglesianicristo.
To read them throughout the show. Back to you, Sister Macy.
Welcome back to another episode of Explore Mountain State.
That's it for the weather update.
Moving on to our district news update.
Only here
on INCRadio, Mountain States.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of INCRadio Mountain States. I am your host, Sister Macy, joined in by some of our crew members here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It is March 7, 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And to our viewers in the Philippines, it is 7 in the morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyo dyan. And thank you for tuning in to INCRadio Mountain States. This afternoon, we are going to talk about exhaustion. You know, I know that word is something that a lot of people can relate on. A lot of our brothers and sisters can relate on. The title is Exhausted to Replenished, Recognizing and Overcoming Overwork. So this is an episode about slowing down, rebuilding our energy, and creating a routine that is manageable for us to avoid being exhausted from overworking. To help us with discussing this topic, we have our very own Sister Princess from the INCRadio Mountain States crew. Say hi, Sister Princess.
Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. You know, at the Daylight Savings Time is coming, so I heard you say 4 p.m. and it reminded me, it's going to be daylight.
I know. I'm starting to practice to go back to the 4 p.m. now, but I was like, wait, it doesn't start until tomorrow. So it's 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And in addition to Sister Princess, we would like to introduce a very, very special guest, someone really close to my heart here from the local of Salt Lake City in the region of Utah for Mountain States. Here's Sister Micah. Hi, Sister Micah.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We are so happy to have you, Sister Micah. So thank you for squeezing in some time out of your busy schedule to be here. All right.
Of course.
Before we start talking about this topic, we just want to address our team live chat. If you are tuning in live on YouTube at the moment, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button so that you are always updated with the many inspiring shows on INCRadio DZEM 954. And while we're at it, please put in your comments, engage with us. Maybe you have a lot to say regarding this topic as well, and put hashtag your local congregation so that we know where you are coming from all over the world. All right, and we have a little bit of our sound bites there, courtesy of the Gattuso kids here in the District of Mountain States. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe. They just repeated it for us. All right, let's set this overwork, exhaustion, burnout topic for now, because we want to know what had happened in the District of Mountain States for the entire week. So, Sister Princess, here's what's up, Mountain States. What's up, Mountain States?
Yes, what is up, Mountain States? So what we want to showcase is our CFO joint monthly meetup. And this was held in the District of Mountain States, so it was district-wide. And so what you're seeing are photos here in the Henderson Chapel, where Brother Barry here is leading the lecture. We also had each organization of the Christian Family Organization present updates with upcoming events, approved events that you are anticipating here in the District of Mountain States. So we had the host locale be the local congregation of Henderson, but brethren from all over the district, like here in Phoenix, you saw previous photos there in West Las Vegas, be able to tune in, to log on, and listen to the monthly meetup. And so, what was really great about this is that all of the organizations were able to get together. We have the Binhi, which are our 12 and above baptized members, the Kadiwa, which are the 18 and above non-married members, and our Bookload married members in the District of Mountain States get together. And so it was a really great time for everybody to listen to a very enlightening topic, which was, about struggles, right? And the real reason why we struggle, or the real reason why the struggle is real. And it's such a relevant topic nowadays. And so it was really great to listen to what the lecture was and how it was presented by Brother Barry. So if you didn't get a chance to attend, please make sure you do attend because it was such a great time. And so here you're seeing group photos of all of the brethren around the District of Mountain States. So I'll go ahead and pass it back to you, Athanasi. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Princess, for keeping us updated on the things that are happening in the District of Mountain States. The district meetup didn't just happen in the local of Henderson, right? Like all the other locals have participated in this.
Can I just say, though, it was so fun to attend it. It's wonderful to see the brethren be there, but really, if you weren't there, you missed out, if I'm going to be honest. So come to the next one. It
Not
was
just
really
on the fun, but on the inspiration, right, Sister?
Yeah, it's very enlightening. And so, my husband and I were talking about it afterwards. And so if you were there and the topic, it was a really good topic, especially for family members. So if you weren't at your CFO meetup, go to your next local one, go to the next district one. They're monthly anyway, so you always have a chance every month to join.
Look forward to the next schedule in March, right? So thank you for our Christian Family Organization for spearheading that for us. All right, let's go back to our topic here. If you're feeling tired, overwhelmed, or constantly running on empty energy, well, today's episode is for you. In this episode, we will talk about slowing down and rebuilding our energy, and that way we can avoid being exhausted, but instead replenish to prevent what we call overworking. So, Sister Micah, let me go to you first because you are our special guest here, so that our audience can understand. Can you just give us a little bit of introduction about yourself? What are your duties in the church? And on top of that, what is your profession and what you do on a daily basis?
So I am a choir member. I'm also, choir member. I'm also a CWS chairperson, a TSV officer, cebsi officer, and I think I might be missing something else.
But, I'm gonna say, there's a little bit more than that, Sister Micah.
I'm a Kadiwa. Yeah, I'm a Kadiwa officer as well. So I'm losing track. So I just accept whatever duty is, gifted to me. So it's definitely a blessing. So that, those duties keep me busy at church. But career-wise, I am a pharmacy manager for a corporation. That definitely is my biggest, reason for my overwork and my burnout.
I know. Wow. I mean, kudos to you though, right? For being able to juggle all these things. Like, obviously, you are very successful in your career, but that did not become a deterrent for you, achieving more duties, or like taking on more duties that also require a lot of time. So how does a typical day for you? Like, what's your routine?
So on my work days, my work days are long. So technically I start at 8, but I get started earlier than that because I want to, get a good head start for the day. So I try to be at work at 7, and then I don't leave till like 8 p.m. or like sometimes 9, depending on how busy it is. And within that work day, it's a lot of So, I have to really be, mentally there, like not just physically, but mentally, because, not sure if you're familiar with what pharmacists do, but we check to make sure, we give the correct medication to the, that the medication is the correct dose for the correct patient, age, all that. So there's a lot of things that we
Serious
check.
too, right? Because you
Yes.
set up.
Yes.
That is a big thing. It's like it's the health of people could be life and death for some too.
Exactly.
I
Exactly. Like a small error can be detrimental to our patient. So I really have to, to not make mistakes, which is hard when you're overworked. But it definitely is a challenge.
Speaking of overworking, how can you tell that this is it? You feel that you're overworked. What are your symptoms for yourself?
Yes. So definitely the symptoms that I notice first, obviously, would be physical symptoms. Like um, well, I guess emotionally as well. But I'm emotionally tired, physically tired, mentally tired. Like at night, sometimes it's hard to to like turn off your thoughts, like thoughts just keep coming that I am unable to
You can't
sleep.
relax. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I sometimes don't have an appetite. I feel like I'm always in fight or flight mode, that I feel so stressed out. It's definitely it's definitely draining even more.
Yeah, so you're overworked, but on top of being overworked, you're stressed that you're feeling overworked. Sister Princess,
Yes.
have you
Yeah.
had that? Have you had that feeling?
Yes, I have. I think more so uh in my earlier, like I think in my early 20s, I didn't know how to manage stress or self-regulate emotions. And so a lot of my responses to heavily stressed or like just situations or environments, high stress environments, my responses were controlled by my emotions and how I felt. I think now I'm in a place where I have to take a step back and look at where am I, what am I dealing with? But I definitely understand the stress of handling so many duties all at once and then being in your career in the midst of it. Or even when I was younger, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do or where I wanted to be. And in doing that, I've burnt myself out a lot by not giving myself any time to breathe or to rest or to do any of that. But I think now I'm in this stage of life where I can, I don't want to say confidently say, because I'm still learning. I think we're always learning as we go through life. And one thing I can say that I know I've said in many years ago, and I say many years ago, in our earlier days of radio when I first initially joined, and now, and kind of just looking and reflecting back to then and seeing now. I mean, I think I have just as many things on my plate, but my priorities have shifted, and I know where my, as long as I follow, you know, where my heart wants and what God has for me, then I feel more at peace rather than burnt out. But to answer your question, yes, 100%. I know that feeling.
No, you're what you also mentioned is you pointed out something really nice here where as for us to be functioning human beings, we kind of need to know what is enough for us for the day, right? Like for you, Sister Micah, obviously we want to learn how you deal with this in this topic, but I also want to know: have you defined for yourself, for example, at work, do you know how to determine? Okay, this is enough for today. Like some work can wait until tomorrow, like things like that.
Yes, so definitely, having to manage a pharmacy, and especially for a corporation, there's a lot of goals, there's a lot of tasks, given to us. We have a lot on our plate, but sometimes I'm that kind of person that that want to meet goals, that want to meet goals on time, or even ahead of time. But there's just so many that if I don't think I can do everything without stressing, without stretching myself too much. And that's why I just keep telling myself, okay, do like maybe 2 to 3 things a day, don't and just plan it out, just um I feel like I have a better grasp of my day when I have it planned out. I mean, not 100%, because, of course, things will happen. There might be some distractions, and there might be some things that we didn't foresee that will happen. And so, I try to plan maybe like 60 to 70% of my day. And then, just picking like 2 or 3 important tasks that I want done that day. And at the end of the day, I think I feel more accomplished, instead of, you know, like writing down everything that needs to be done and just picking a few of those. I feel like, oh, I just did 3 out of, I don't know, like 15, but if I told myself, okay, my goal today is get 3 things done, at the end of the day, I feel more accomplished.
I like that. I like those boundaries that you set, right? Like, definitely don't grasp more than what you can. Don't take in more than what you can actually handle, because it will just stress you out more. Oh, I like that, because we tend to, and I'm sure you experience this. We tend to overachieve our to-do lists sometimes, and I am that type of person too. Like, I just write it all down, my to-do list, and then my task is to be able to like complete all of those. But I had a mentor in the early days of my careers who kept telling me before, at the end of the day in the office, when she's about to go, she's always like, just go home, that work is going to be waiting for you tomorrow. Like, she tells me that every night. And then back in the day, when you don't have any other responsibilities and I was single, you just don't think about that. We're like, what is this person talking about? You're supposed to be my boss, wouldn't you like me working more? But then now that I've gotten older, like Sister Princess, other priorities have come in. I was like, that's totally, it's very true. This work is going to be there tomorrow when I come back, but not the time with my family, not the growing kids or their milestones, those you can never take back. So think that's a very good tip, Sister Princess. I mean, Sister Micah, on like just setting your boundaries and shortening your to-do list if you can. There's also, with the story that I shared, scheduling a stop time, right? In my line of work, I don't really have a start and end time most of the time, because my end time, I tend to like just go over really long because I want to finish things. But they say that you have to set that end time for yourself. Do you have an end time, Sister Princess? When you work, it's like, okay, 5 p.m., I'm done. Goodbye.
No, not well, yes and no. It's hard to say. So, I've transitioned in my career. So in the past, I was a teacher, and that was hard to have a set end time. Where I am now, I'm still working with school districts. So just a little bit of background. I work in a Medicaid health plan, and I serve as a school health services liaison. So I manage statewide. And so when you're managing statewide responsibilities, it's a lot, really. But what I've done similarly to Sister Micah is have to-do lists. I think in understanding who you are and how you best work is the first step to working productively. So for myself, I'm very visual when it comes to my to-do list. And so I usually also have around 3 to 5 top priority items I need to complete that week. And then I have like 2 mini tasks to do like daily. And so however long it takes me to get it done, I'll make sure I I get it done. I don't have a stop time at the end of the day because I try to work early so that I don't have to think about working late. So I think the trick is to understand yourself and to know what you can get done in a timely manner. But usually by the time it hits 4 to 5 o'clock in that hour, if I'm not done with a task, like you said at the maze, it's going to be there tomorrow. And something that I have had managers and leaders tell me is it's not that serious. And I think, especially as members, we don't really need to take, like, yes, take our careers and our successes seriously. But if I could go back and tell my old self about, me being burned out, I would say the same thing. It's not that serious. It's really not. Your health matters more. Your family matters more. Taking care of yourself,
right?
Yes, your duties, especially.
That all those
Yes.
and it's very important that and I'm glad for the two of you, like you have already set your priorities straight, even at your young age, like you know what to focus on and what to target. So let's talk about now. Okay, we know what overworking is. We know how you at least try to deal with it so that you don't get there. But whether we like it or not, we do get there. We get burnt out, we get overworked. Now, I want to talk about how do we then replenish the lost energy? How do we revive ourselves from the burnout? Sister Micah, you have very great friends over there in Salt Lake who are also my very great friends, and I see you girls all the time, posting these different activities that you do together, whether it's hiking, sometimes you're on a boat, sometimes you're on a mountain, sometimes, you're just having a fun dinner together or going at a concert. I know that those things that you do are intentional. You don't do that just as friends, but also to like relax and get re-energized. Tell us a little bit more about that. Like what do you guys do in order to get replenished and get re-energized after being overworked?
Yes. So Christine and Eliza are, two of my very good friends. We are, we perform together. We have similar duties. We go way back, and at the Macy, you know this. We go way back, and we used to travel together. That's one of our ways to de-stress. To traveling helps us look forward to something, and we plan it out together, but then they got married, both of them. So,
They
can't
left you.
travel
They
as
left
much
you very
anymore.
much.
Yes, I am so heartbroken, both of them. They left me. But anyway, so now they have their husbands, that if we plan something, they can't just say yes. They have to like ask their significant others, I guess. But so,
That was just
now that
what's on the meeting.
Yeah.
Wives, right?
oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm a Kadiwa, so
I know
so
you.
anyway.
You get
We, and we're all working now. We don't have as much time as we did before, and so now we still try to make time for each other. What we have right now is every quarter we go on like a date. We go to dinner, to lunch, some activities, whatever it is, but we do it every quarter. So we, even though, no matter how busy we are, we try to schedule it ahead of time so that all of us will be available. And then when we do, when we come together for, our dinner or lunch or something, then, we talk about life, we talk about careers, we talk about, things that stress, things that stress us. And it really helps to, because if you keep it all in, it's like it's nice to have people that are willing to listen and are willing to talk about those things. So it's definitely one of the things that I look forward to.
Nice. I know. I love it. And I love that you have those relationships in your life. There's actually a few pictures that we're going to show for you right now. So you can also meet Sister Eliza and Sister Christine. Unfortunately, they cannot join us on the show, but we'll show these pictures. And Sister Christine actually sent her input as well regarding our topic for today of being overworked and how to replenish. So here they are. All right, here are some pictures from Sister Christine, Sister Micah, and Sister Eliza. And notes from Sister Christine. Being overworked could mean differently for everyone. For me, being overworked is when I'm physically and mentally overwhelmed and physically tired because I've spent days with back-to-back schedules while running on limited hours of sleep. Specifically felt this when I was planning our wedding while finishing school and was in the process of moving. But being overworked at that time consisted of checking things off the wedding list, meeting deadlines at school, and being physically tired as I packed all my belongings. But looking back, I felt drained at the time. I did learn a few things about myself, such as knowing my limits and when to keep my to-do list manageable. For me, taking breaks helped a lot. It was as simple as going on a solo coffee day, taking a walk outside, attending a fun workout class to distract myself from all the noise, or even grabbing my favorite ice cream. In short, do things for you, even if it's just 10 minutes out of your day. Small habits of self-care helped me get through. Thank you, Sister Christine, for sending those wonderful thoughts to us regarding our topic of a burnout. Always look great. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, where you are gallivanting or traveling, whether you're hiking or whatnot. You always look great. I love it. And thank you for sharing those moments. And Sister Christine, thank you for sharing your input for our show today. It's very meaningful, and I think it would help a lot of our brethren who are listening right now. So now that, we kind of like friendship is one, traveling is one, having dinners, just taking your mind off of what you are doing on a regular basis so that the burnout kind of disappears. Are there anything else like that you just do that's just, you know, when you don't have to go outside or you don't have to do anything else, but you just take a moment and know that, okay, I need to stop. I'm overworked. What are those things, Sister Princess? Do you have any sort of a routine for yourself?
Um, yes, I would say the things that it sounds kind of silly. I don't know. I don't think it sounds silly. I think we should all do it. So I go to Bible study weekly. Sometimes I go twice in a week with Brother Andrew and my mom. But that's something I make sure I do on a weekly basis because like for me, I don't always have time to sit down and do a new hobby. I'm not consistent when it comes to hobbies. I try something new and then I don't finish it. But the consistency I know I'm good at staying consistent in is my dedication and my duties and my membership, right? So what's something I know I could do weekly that's always there? Bible study and the lessons, even though they're lessons we've heard before, I promise you learn something new every day, and it's something that is always applicable in your life. And for me, that's where I find my peace is being able to do that, and then afterwards get to socialize with the locale and talk to brethren and bond with the ministers and his wife. So that's what I do.
Yeah. No, I think it's true, not just for you, but for all of us here, that there's something about walking into the house of worship, and it doesn't matter what you're feeling or where you are at. But as soon as you walk in and then you walk out, you're different. You're re-energized, you're back to just like, you're ready again to take on tasks.
And for South Las Vegas, we don't have our Bible studies are all at Brethren's homes, and so I think in being able to be welcomed into a home too, if it's not at the chapel, getting the chance to see where people live. I'm a very curious person, and I like to see new decor and stuff and get to know the brethren on a different kind of level. I think that's what's really fun, and that's where I find enjoyment.
So for you, Sister Micah, you have a lot of duties. You've listed them all to us, but you said that, whenever the gift is being given to me, I'll just accept it. Do you consider those duties as well as kind of your cure from your exhaustion or burnout from your daily work? Tell us about it.
Yes, definitely. It, as what Sister Princess said, you know, doing for you Bible studies every week, that's, kind of one of the ways that you forget about your stresses, and it's the same for me. So, especially, worship services, I'm so thankful we go twice a week. Um, you know, when you're in worship service, so it's like, for example, for me, when I'm in worship service, I forget about things, outside the house of worship. I forget about my problems, my stresses. I forget about being burnt out because, I'm there listening to the words of God. And every time it feels like it's like I needed, it's like, it's like God knows what I need to hear every week. And I'm like, oh, that's just what I needed. So and performing those duties, not it's yes, I exert my effort, I spend time performing those, but it's never really a burden. If anything, it gives me the strength that I need to go on. And I just want to share the people of this world. I would talk to my friends who are not members or my coworkers who are not members, and we'd talk about things in life, and they would say how they go to therapies. It's that's how they they deal with their stresses in life. But for me, my therapy is performing my duties, attending worship services. It's honestly, I don't know what I do without my duties, without the worship services, because it's what keeps me going. It's what gives me the strength to overcome whatever life throws at me.
And that's how we just become stronger, right? Like if any one person asks, how do you keep going? You're doing so much, or like, your line of work is not that easy, and you have to deal with this every day and you have to do that every day. You meet deadlines every day. How do you all do it? But our secret weapon for all of us, members of the Church of Christ, especially the officers in the Church of Christ, is exactly what Sister Micah had shared and imparted to us right now, and also what Sister Princess described, as she gives this commitment and attends to these many activities inside the church. And I'm just so happy. My heart is overjoyed and overwhelmed just hearing this, especially from our two, younger sisters, younger brethren in the church who are basically, you're starting your life out, like this is when you put the majority of your time into like building your life and the career that you want to have, and what future you want to have for yourself. And yet you are clear and focused on the priorities that you have set for yourself, and focused on what is needed so that you don't fall into exhaustion, which could be dangerous, or you don't fall into burnout, right?
Add to that, Sister Macy, you're saying that you're happy to see us in the stage of our life. But there are so many brethren like yourself that I honestly look up to. I see the careers that you have, even being able to travel. And I ask myself, and even when I was younger, I always ask myself, how can I do it? How can I get there? Who do I need to talk to? I'm always trying to search for the answer. That was something that was a constant of mine, looking for the answer. And it's really no secret. The answer is God, and that's something I found in every brethren who has found their success in their career, their family, and their life. Their most successful aspect of their life is in church and in their duty, and I want to give credit to you for that as well.
Thank you. But it really is the best formula. I'm not the best expert at it, but if there's something I could impart, but the formula that I've always lived by in my entire life is to give it all to God first, like everything for God, like just make that as a priority. and then everything will just fall into place. And I know that that was proven in your life, Sister Micah. I see you grow up. I see you become the professional that you are. You as well, Sister Princess. You know, I've been with you for so many years, and we've seen that in you. It's a tried and tested formula. It's written in the Bible. Our Almighty God, had commanded it to us. And I hope that these testimonies, will inspire all of our brethren to also think about that. And with our daily exhaustion and daily burnout, it's okay. Those are just things of this world. Those are things that we can overcome by just attending a Bible study, by attending a worship service, or performing your duty. Very easy to recover them, brothers and sisters. But at the same time, let's also try to step back and think about slowing down, starting with small and intentional changes, setting clear priorities for the day, like what Sister Micah had shown us, create a firm stopping time, and pause before saying yes to new commitments, right? Sometimes it's hard to say no, but we should also learn that art of saying no. Build short breaks into your routine and redefine productivity as sustainability, not constant output. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but slowing down helps protect your energy and prevent burnout long term. But the most important part of our routine is drawing near to our Almighty God, as He is the one who can help us with all the struggles that we may encounter in life, and bless us with the life and strength that we need to overcome whatever life brings to us. And that is exactly what we have learned from Sister Micah and Sister Princess today. Thank you, ladies, for your time. Sister Micah, we'd love to give you this time to just give your greetings to anyone from all over the world listening to us at the moment.
So shout out to the local Salt Lake City, to my family, my parents, my sister, my niece and nephew, and just the brethren all over the world. And just also wanna thank our beloved brother Eduardo V. Manalo for giving you the chance to interview me and just to have these just to have these approved topics that will definitely help the brethren, because I'm sure it's not just us going through this. And also our beloved brother Angelo Manalo as well for overseeing us. But yeah, and also thank you too. You two are also two of my inspiration. We go way back to we've performed duties together, and it's just want to also tell you that I look up to you as well.
Thank you. And Sister Princess, any final messages, shout outs to everyone all over the world?
Yes, Sister Micah, ditto. When I think of a hard, if I'm in a stressful situation, I kid you not, I'll think of you from time to time because of your job and your multiple duties. So I think if Mike's can do it, so can I. If all my girls can do it with all these things on their plate, so can I. And so I appreciate both of you and all of my friends who have inspired me in my successes. And I also want to thank the church administration, as well as our district officers for a wonderful CFO meetup that they led. It was really inspiring, and especially Brother Barry Thompson, who was able to lead the lecture portion. I appreciate the approved activity and the topic and the words that we were able to receive that CFO meetup.
Right. Talk about relieving our exhaustion and overwork and burnout. I think that meetup did just that, exactly just that on Sunday. So thank you to Brother Barry Thompson and to all of our district officers for putting that together. And unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for this afternoon show. I think we can talk about this all day, especially with you two lovely ladies. But thank you, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for providing this platform for us to connect with our brethren from all over the world. And thank you to our dear Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo as well. Thank you to Kuya Manley and Daya, our Executive Producer, to Brother Barrington Thompson, our District Minister, along with our our Assistant District Minister, Brother Oliver Canlas. We say a special thanks to our district multimedia team, always supporting this broadcast, and of course to you, the avid listeners and viewers of INC Radio Mountain States. This is it, brethren. Thank you for watching and listening to INC Radio Mountain States. Please tune in again next week. At this time, the time slot might be a little bit different, right, because of daylight saving time in the U.S., but we'll be sure to promote that and let you know about it. Continue to tune in to INC Radio DZM 954, changing lives through God's words. Up next is Canada. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Sister Micah. Thank you, Sister
Bye. Thank you.
Nakikinig kayo sa Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, DZEM 954, ang tinig